gonna stick by you. Oh, a little saucy mare like you should have a steed.
A little bridling down from you is what I need.
Darling companion, I tell the mountains and the canyons, long as I got legs to stand on, I'm gonna stick by you. Darling companion, I tell the mountains and the canyons, long as I got legs to stand on, I'm gonna stick by you. Okay, baby, I'm gonna go to the next one.
Johnny Cash represents a part of America that a lot of people want to look back to. It wasn't a chaotic thing, you know, in their mind, you know. It was mom's apple pie, and it might have been beans, but everybody had a full belly, you know, things of this nature.
Carl Perkins wrote a song that tells about the reason for it all. It takes us back home and again tells it like it was when I was a little bitty kid and we gathered around the piano and me and little brother would join in and Mama'd sing tenor and Daddy sang bass. I remember when I was a lad, times were hard and things were bad, but there's a silver lining behind every cloud. Just poor people, that's all we were, trying to make a living out of Blacklander. We'd get together in a family circle singing loud. Daddy sang bass,
Mama sang tenor,
Me and little brother joined right in there.
'cause singing seems to help a troubled soul. One of these days, and it won't be long, I'll rejoin them in a song. I'm gonna join the family circle at the throne. No, the circle won't.
About the only hero that I have is my uncle, who was in Korea and received a Purple Heart and the Silver Star, and he died in a heroic way, I guess. He saved his platoon. That's the only actual heroes I really have.
Daddy sang bass,
Mama sang tenor,
Me and little brother joined right in there.
'cause singing seems to help a troubled soul. One of these days, and it won't be long, I'll rejoin them in a song. I'm gonna join the family circle at the throne. So the circle won't be broken by and by, Lord, by and by.
They're hiding us, you know. That society out there created a good many of us. I myself feel that the greatest crime a goodly portion of us in San Quentin are guilty of is one thing, that we were born poor.
Being a convict in California, especially, you know, you're not even allowed to fight for your country.
We're exposed to a kind of a machine-like justice that just spews us out, you know, because our mediocrity, maybe, you know, we're of no consequence. What happens to us?
My wife comes up to visit. I see her once a week, you know, and you go out into the visiting room and there's your wife, but you know, you can't touch her. You know, that's illegal. You know, and shame on you if you put your hand on her leg or do something, you know, really out of line like that. You know, they really get upset. You know, and you sit there, you know, and you talk for about a half hour or something like that, and then for me, it's kind of I seem to kind of get in a state of limbo, you know, to where it's kind of like unreal.
Daddy sang bass.
Mama sang tenor,
In the sky, Lord, in the sky. In the sky, Lord, in the sky. It takes a lot of imagination sometimes to write a song and to really put something into it where somebody else can understand it and feel it. But we've been in several prisons, San Quentin and Folsom Prison and the Starkville, Mississippi jail, and the El Paso jail. And you wouldn't believe it, one night I got in jail in Starkville, Mississippi for picking flowers. I was walking down the street. I may sing that for you a little bit later on. I was walking down the street. What? Excuse me, I couldn't hear you. I was talking. I was walking down the street, and going to get me some cigarettes or something about 2 o'clock in the morning after a show. I think I was. Anyway, I reached down and picked a dandelion here and a daisy there as I went along, and this car pulls up. I said, "Get it the hell in here, boy. What are you doing?" I said, "I'm just picking flowers." Well, $36 for picking flowers and a night in jail. God damn. You can't hardly win, can you? It's damn. No telling what you'd do if you'd pull an apple or something. And if any of the guards are still speaking to me, could I have a glass of water? San Quentin, just for you. San Quentin, you've been living hell to me. You blistered me since 1963. I've seen 'em come and go, and I've seen 'em die. And long ago I stopped asking why. San Quentin, I hate every inch of you. You cut me and you scarred me through and through. And I'll walk out a wiser, weaker man. Mr. Congressman, you can't understand. San Quentin, what good do you think you do? Do you think I'll be different when you're through? You bend my heart and mind and you warp my soul. Your stone walls turn my blood a little cold. San Quentin, may you rot and burn in hell. May your walls fall and may I live to tell. May all the world forget you ever stood. And may all the world regret you did no good. San Quentin, I hate every inch of you.
The inmate comes in, many of them it comes in, I think, are afraid. This causes them to do one of two things. They either have to join a clique of some kind, a gang to survive. They have to pay protection to survive, or they have to do many things, even to the point of being homosexuals to survive. Many of them has to pay protection to survive. And I feel that this type of thing characterizes a lot of inmates. I think practically every inmate in the institution has his own way of survival. This causes him to not be able to act himself. I've seen cases where inmates, for instance, wrap their arms with toilet paper to make them look big and muscled up. I've seen them do many things to do this. Many times they will give staff a bad time in order to show some other group of inmates that I'm on your side or I'm a big tough guy and so forth. This is a means of survival.
Wanted man in Mississippi, wanted man in old Cheyenne. Wherever you might look tonight, you might see this wanted man. I might be in Colorado or Georgia by the sea, working for some man who may not know at all who I might be. If you ever see me coming, and if you know who I am, don't you breathe it to nobody, 'cause you know I'm on a lam. Wanted man by Lucy Watson, wanted man by Jeannie Brown, wanted man by Nellie Johnson, wanted man in this Texas town. Well, I've had all that I wanted of a lot of things I had, and a lot more than I needed of something that turned out bad. Stopped to get myself a map. Went the wrong way into Juarez with Juanita on my lap. Then I went to sleep in Shreveport. Woke up in Abilene, wondering why the hell I'm wanted at some town halfway between. Wanted man in Albuquerque, wanted man in Syracuse, wanted man in Tallahassee, wanted man in Baton Rouge. There's somebody set to grab me anywhere that I might be, and wherever you might look tonight, you might get a glimpse of me.
Most of the people here are paranoid. In other words, they're all afraid something is going to happen to them in one sense or another.
Throughout the whole Department of Corrections, anybody that comes to the surface, so to speak, for some bad quality, he's highly violent, he starts riots, he's a killer, anything like that, usually he's going to end up here.
We had a work strike, which later resulted in a retaliation thing between one group against another, and resulted in the majority of the inmates in the institution rebelling.
And when you come out of the mess hall that day, well, you walk right into the middle of a racial confrontation, and it was black on one side and Mexican and white on the other side, and you were just arbitrarily forced into, going to your own, but nothing else by scheme pigmentation. You had no choice.
I'm not a fascist, but I am a segregationist. I don't believe in integration, especially in prison. It creates a lot of tensions, especially with the younger generation of the black people who are taking the militant views. As far as I'm concerned, I have no part of integration.
I was raised like they were. I had nothing. You know what I mean? I had to go out and steal what I wanted to get. You know what I mean? Well, they want everything on a platter. You don't get nothing on a platter today.
Well, it isn't so much what's wrong with them. It's that I don't want to be bothered with their problems, and I don't want their whatever problems they have to be burdened on my shoulders. I feel they should find their own solution.
Well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much to Ma and me, just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Now, I don't blame him 'cause he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fists got hard, my wits got keen. Roamed from town to town to hide my shame. But I made me a vow to the moon and stars, I'd search the honky-tonks and bars and kill that man that gave me that awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I'd just hit town and my throat was dry. I thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. At an old saloon on a street of mud, there at a table, dealing stud, sat the dirty mangy dog that named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad.